A very warm welcome and a very good evening. This is UBC News Tonight on this 4th day of December 2021. Before we get into tonight's bulletin, let's first take a look at tonight's headlines.
Brought to you by
How to get points. Just use MTN to make calls, send SMS, load airtime, buy bundles, or pay for MTN subscription services.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
And in tonight's headlines, Museveni lauds chief executive officers for promoting development. Local investors seek government support. General Muntu calls for vigilance during festive season. And former CDF General Muntu salutes UPDF.
Was brought to you by Everywhere you go, MTN.
Good evening once again and welcome to our first edition of UBC News Tonight on this 4th day of December 2021. I'm Lauryn Kazimoto and with my colleague Usufu Ssrnyomo on sign language. Now we start off with our first headlining story this evening. President Yoweri Museveni has opened the first ever Chief Executive Officers Forum at the National Leadership Institute, Chankwanzi. He was critical of bureaucrats and advised ideology against backward vices like sectarianism as one of the avenues to end poverty. Take a look.
A Chief Executive Officers Forum has been opened by President Yoweri Museveni at the National Leadership Institute, Chankwanzi.
We're trying to create a Uganda that we will all be proud of. A Uganda, as we say, should be. I mean, I know my brother Ramadan was talking about where we are. We don't want to stay there. Uganda can't stay there forever. We want this country to get to a position where people will look up to us. I think right now people are looking down to us. The people that you have here, these CEOs, are here for that same vision, to help you make sure that Uganda can get to that place.
The president lauded the CEOs for their effort towards developing Uganda economically, but had no kind words for bureaucrats that he labeled Bamulyabyengede, a word from a local dialect to mean those that enjoy reaping where they didn't sow.
You see, there are three people. They are the business people. They are we, the freedom fighters, and then the bureaucrats. The bureaucrats, the ones who eat what is there. They don't add on, but what is there, that's what they eat. They may not fully understand the big potential of this economy. That's why Barbara was right when she said, but why do you talk of 2040? Why can't you move faster? 2030. I totally agree with her. Because that 2040 is the view of the bureaucrats, is the view of the Bamulyabyengede. Bamulyabyengede, the ones who eat what is ripe. They don't know how to ripen things. But for us, we know that it is possible to move much faster.
He highlighted key areas like fighting sectarianism and infrastructure development that need attention in the anti-poverty fight that caters for the interest of the people.
The idea of sectarianism is anti-business. And therefore anti-prosperity, including creation of jobs, producing products and so on. So the first thing we did, NRM did, was to resolve the issue of the politics. We brought the politics of interest, and we were against the politics of identity.
The president wants power to manufacturers to be provided at a low cost, while a cost of transport by his government is being addressed by many areas, especially earmarking rail connection between several key nations. He advocates for Buy Uganda, Build Uganda, which he says has in the past been failed by technocrats. The president believes that with proper policy, the economy will grow to the trillion shillings mark, as the public also ventures into the money economy. On population growth vis-a-vis economic development, Museveni advises education to empower the girl child to take proper decisions. John Barnes, Ssrnyomo, reporting.
The Prime Minister, Robina Nabanja, led a delegation of line ministers to visit Roofing's group factory. She went to inspect operations and sort out emerging challenges being faced by the local steel manufacturing industries in Uganda. Roofing's rolling mills is situated in Namamve Industrial Park in Kampala. Take a look.
The Prime Minister's tour of Roofing's rolling mills follow a call from local manufacturers to have government award them contracts under the Bubu policy spirit. The Prime Minister was taken on a guided tour of the factory by the Roofing's Group Chairman and founder, Dr. Sikanda Lalani. The factory tour enabled the Premier to see a wide range of Roofing's group products, ranging from an assortment of iron bars, steel plates, roofing sheets and nails, wire products, water and electrical pipes, among other products. The line ministers who accompanied the Prime Minister included the Minister for Trade, Francis Mwebesa, and State Minister for Works, Musa Echweru. Roofing's Group Chairman Dr. Sikanda Lalani appreciated the government for the conducive environment that has made Uganda a preferred investment destination. Dr. Lalani acknowledged the promises government had fulfilled, which include establishment of a railway and a road network within the industrial park.
Then we were also promised about road network, railway line. Now you see the railway line is there. The road network came up to our factory. I think it was 2.5 years after we started. The government has fulfilled all their promises, and this is how we are here today.
He called on government to seriously follow up on the policy of Buy Uganda, Build Uganda. He said the Bubu policy should be encouraged within the manufacturing sector by manufacturers buying imports from their fellow manufacturers in Uganda. The Prime Minister Robina Nabanja reiterated government's commitment to support investments like roofings through the promotion of the Buy Uganda, Build Uganda policy. She appreciated Roofing's Group for the longest-standing contribution to Uganda's economy for the last 27 years.
We have to support our people who have invested in this country. I am concerned and I feel moved that you must get support from government. Yes, government has supported you in one way or the other. I want to appreciate HE, the president. Yes, our president. Uganda is lucky, by the way. Uganda is lucky to have Yoweri Kaguta Museveni as our president. No wonder other people from other countries have got a lot of trust in our economy. So, and I want to thank you, Roofing Group, one for the quality.
The Prime Minister took note of all the concerns and promised to constitute an interministerial committee as a matter of urgency to agree on how to support local investments in the country. Roofing's group current investment is $320 million and it has a direct employment of 1,500 staff. Major export destinations include Kenya, Tanzania, DRC, South Sudan, Rwanda and Burundi.
The Deputy Chief of Defence Forces, Lieutenant General Peter Elwelu, has called upon Uganda People's Defence Forces troops in Somalia to be extra vigilant during the Christmas period, since the Al-Shabaab takes advantage of the festive season to execute attacks against AMISOM troops in the country. Lieutenant General Elwelu was speaking to over 2,500 soldiers at the closure of the 13th Pre-Mission Ideological Training and Flag-Off at Peace Support Operations Training Center in Singo in Nakaseke District.
While flagging off the UPDF officers headed for the Somalia, the Deputy Chief of Defence Forces, Lieutenant General Peter Elwelu, reminded the officers and militants that AMISOM is an important mission for Uganda and the African continent, and urged them to always remember the ideology of the Uganda People's Defence Forces, which is a people's army working for the people.
Jeshi ya nini? Ya wananchi. Tunafanyia wananchi. Hiyo naweza tukapitia wanaita undugu. Undugu kwa jeshi. Jeshi ni wandugu. Mukigawana, ukiangalia mwezi yako kama kabila lingine. Wisha. Lakini ukiangalia mwezi yako kwa nini vumbi? Wewe hapa unajua sura yake, lugha yake, unajua uniform hii. Sasa hii ndugu yangu. Hii dada yangu utabaki moja.
General Elwelu also called upon the soldiers to work closely with other partner states in Somalia and be cautious as the international community is watching their actions.
Unakwenda Somalia kama UPDF, lakini huko ambassador, unajua ambassador ya Uganda huko, ndio maana mmevaa kila mtu yuko na yeye. Unaona kuona tu unajua kwamba huyo ni Uganda. Hii huko mnasimamia Uganda huko Somalia. Hii yote kama wiko private, kama wiko nini, unasimamia Uganda. Somalia iko nchi mbalimbali. Wa Amerika iko, wazungu mbalimbali wako, wa China, wa Somali, wa Ethiopia, wa Kenya. Lakini wataangalia jeshi ya Uganda, wakati makosa yakifanyika wanasema hiyo ni Uganda. Hapa tunasema UPDF, wanasema hiyo ni Uganda. Msiharibu jina la Uganda. Kumbuka jina la Uganda kila saa unapofanya kazi huko. Kumbuka jina la Uganda.
The commandant of the center, Brigadier General Boni Wolimbwa, remarked that the troops had successfully completed the necessary training and met the requirements for the mission and are ready for deployment.
So I just want to urge you that you maintain that discipline. During training, you are so much disciplined. And even when it comes time for deployment, make sure that you are not diverted.
Speaking on behalf of the Chief Political Commissar, Colonel Anatoly Nwagira, the Director of Political Education, Land Forces, cited the objectives of the pre-mission training that was conducted by internal and external facilitators were to open the troops' consciousness and enhance their understanding about themselves and Uganda, conceive and consolidate conscious discipline among the troops, commitment and moral based on conviction.
Former army commander and now turned politician, Major General Muntu, wants the army he once served in to avoid past mistakes. Now he urged those engaged in the pursuit of ADF rebels to avoid diverting their energies into other issues except for those they have been assigned to. Take a look.
Also would have to recognize that there are also times when an army has to be deployed to take advantage of the element of surprise. That's an operational question. Now, in the event that that issue is the case in any form of deployment, the government should have envisaged that early enough, had discussions with the Parliament, possibly proposed amendments to create provisions for how UPDF can be deployed in the event that they don't want to lose the element of surprise.
Former Army Commander retired Major General Muntu has appreciated the move by the UPDF to move into DR Congo to flush out ADF rebels.
So for you, the government, the Ugandan government, carrying out negotiations with DRC and reaching an agreement for the deployment of UPDF into Congo was a correct move. Because this time around, UPDF goes into Congo with the endorsement of the DRC. I also believe it's legitimate because, you know, if you have a population who is exposed to terror, if all information that the security services have indicates that ADF is the one that is involved and they are out of reach of the Ugandan security services because they are operating in a neighboring country, so it's legitimate that the country looks for ways of how it can neutralize the force that is a source of terror, like in this particular case.
Muntu asserts that the time has come for East Africa to stand together and liberate the Mobutu Sese Seko courtyard, which has endured years of fire after his exit.
Mobutu's rule for a long time, I think, was the source of all these problems. Because one, Mobutu didn't care about infrastructure. There's no linkage between many provinces of Congo. Road infrastructure. They use air, and maybe where there's a river like River Congo, they use the river. The current government seems to be reaching out to the region, which is a positive thing. And I think if they can work together within the East African community and put effort in the stabilization of Congo and all the countries around and focus on economic development, the situation will be turned around as well in Congo as it has happened elsewhere.
Muntu is optimistic that if the UPDF sticks to the mission's principles, there will be a basket of yields.
You need a force which is operating outside the country to have the backing of the population. Because they need morale. They need to know that the country is behind them. We know that the officers and men in the army do the best they can. Many of them are professional. They are well educated. Many of them have a heart for the country. And I would like to believe that now that UPDF has gone into DRC, it has an opportunity for two things. Using the skills it has gathered over time to fight against insurgencies, to fight against terrorist groups. And if they remain focused on that mission, there is a high possibility that they can neutralize the ADF in Congo.
As of this Saturday, Uganda People's Defense Forces, in collaboration with forces against the La Republic du Congo, continue intensifying the search for ADF rebels, which are blamed for causing mayhem in Uganda and DR Congo. Robert Onyango, UBC News.
UBC News Tonight takes a very short break, but we'll return with business stories. Keep it locked.
These days, our homes are no longer just the places we live. It's where we attend meetings, go to class, keep each other safe, and entertain ourselves. To do this smoothly, you need a reliable internet connection. Connect your home online with MTN WakaNet Max, a fast and reliable home internet solution to power your streaming, gaming, online classes, work, and CCTV security cameras. The MTN WakaNet Max starter kit comes with a free 4G router, SIM card, and 35 GB bundle with no validity, all at 245,000 Uganda shillings. Visit any MTN service center to sign up.
Everywhere you go, MTN. Introducing the all-new Roofing's TMX 500C rebars with cut and bend services. Roofing's, strength of a nation.
Transact and win money after money with Airtel Money. 1.5 billion shillings in cash prizes up for grabs. The more you transact, the higher your chances of winning. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Umeme informs customers that due to the vandalized transmission line that evacuates electricity from Owen Falls Dam to Lugogo substation, some areas in and around Kampala will experience load shedding. UETCL technical team is working around the clock to restore the line. We regret inconveniences caused. Management, Umeme, powering Uganda.
It's the festive season and we love it. And that means it's time to celebrate with GoTV.
Come with me.
So get your GoCoder and GoTV value for 25,000 shillings to watch with the whole family. And if you're feeling extra festive, upgrade to our best package yet, GoTV Super.
Something to look forward to.
Download the My GoTV app for more information.
Super.
We all deserve a super festive season. And with GoTV, there's every reason to love it.
Raising voices.
I feel happy when my father spends time with me. I hope all fathers will like my father. I want my father to reach out to all fathers. He knows how important it is to be a good father. I promise to help my father inspire other fathers to change.
In this time of COVID, what is your promise to the children of Uganda? Because a violence-free childhood is everyone's right. Raising voices.
Welcome back from the break, and we're glad that you're still watching UBC News Tonight. Now into some business stories this evening. As means to create job opportunities in the country, government is looking for 25 industrial parks to donate to both local and foreign investors to reduce unemployment in Uganda. One of the beneficiaries are people of Pade district, where the district together with the locals have donated 500 acres of land to government to allow investors put it to good use. The Minister for Finance in charge of investment, Evelyn Anite, has visited the land and assures the locals that she is to get investors.
Government, through the Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning, is looking for free land to be used as industrial parks so as to create jobs for the youth. The State Minister for Finance in charge of investment, Evelyn Anite, together with Uganda Investment Authority, have visited Angola land in northern Uganda, Padeo district, that has been donated by the locals to act as an industrial park.
Why should we transport the wealth of the people of Pade to another place when we can build a factory here.
Minister Nite, while in a meeting with locals and district leaders, advised them that if factories are set up in the area, the locals should be considered for employment.
The council has allocated 500 acres of land for the development of an industrial park in Agwara.
That people should respect individual landowners which is surrounding this site in case of any expansion.
So we started this journey in the western part of the country, where in every sub-region we're able to secure land for building industries, so as to create jobs and do value addition on the natural resources.
On his part, the Director General of Uganda Investment Authority, Robert Mukiza, pledged to make sure that this land is developed by encouraging serious investors.
Land is free of encumbrances. It is not in a swamp. It is not in a forest. It is free land to Uganda Investment Authority. We are going to secure that land, fence it, develop a feasibility study and master plan for the industrial park development in this land.
The area local leaders also had this to say about this new development.
We have given this because we know it is going to develop our area, it's going to create job opportunities for our people, to our children, and as well as improving on infrastructure in our area.
We have UPDF, very strong force on the ground, which we'll have to defend with the people, with support of the people. We shall have to defend the industry.
Angora land that has been donated to act as an industrial park in northern Uganda measures up to 500 acres. Report compiled by Andrew Sebira for UBC News.
These days, our homes are no longer just the places we live. It's where we attend meetings, go to class, keep each other safe, and entertain ourselves. To do this smoothly, you need a reliable internet connection. Connect your home online with MTN WakaNet Max, a fast and reliable home internet solution to power your streaming, gaming, online classes, work, and CCTV security cameras. The MTN WakaNet Max starter kit comes with a free 4G router, SIM card, and 35 GB bundle with no validity, all at 245,000 Uganda shillings. Visit any MTN service center to sign up.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
It's the festive season and we love it. And that means it's time to celebrate with GoTV.
Come with me.
So get your GoCoder and GoTV value for 25,000 shillings to watch with the whole family. And if you're feeling extra festive, upgrade to our best package yet, GoTV Super.
Something to look forward to.
Download the My GoTV app for more information.
Super.
We all deserve a super festive season. And with GoTV, there's every reason to love it.
And now into sports. Uganda Baseball and Softball Association has hosted its first slow pitch competition with action at Kitante Primary School. John Barnes Ssrnyomo with more on this report.
With the sights set on attracting as many stakeholders into the sport of baseball, the association has organized a slow pitch competition that has attracted a sizable audience.
We have former active national team players. We have former federation leaders too who are participating today in the games. We have people from development organizations and partners like from JICA, from the American Embassy. We have quite teams of people who are here. We are even graced to have some of the US Marines join us here today, and they're hitting well.
Participants fully embraced this aspect of the sport, whose technicalities are explained by Alano team.
Slow pitch softball is a kind of softball whereby anyone who is not actively playing comes to play the game. It is more of a fun kind of game. You don't need to be very fast, you don't need to be very strong, but it's a game that you can play while you're having a conversation with the rest.
Uganda Baseball and Softball Association plan to make this slow pitch competition a monthly meet that will be spread all over the country. John Barnes, Ssrnyomo, reporting.
UBC News Tonight has come to an end, but before we leave, let's first take a look at tonight's headlines.
Brought to you by
How to get points. Just use MTN to make calls, send SMS, load airtime, buy bundles, or pay for MTN subscription services.
Everywhere you go, MTN.
In our headlines tonight, Museveni lauds chief executive officers for promoting development. Local investors seek government support. General Elwelu calls for vigilance during festive season. And former CDF General Muntu salutes UPDF.
Was brought to you by
Everywhere you go, MTN.
Thank you so much for your company this evening, but do join us for our second edition, UBC News Tonight at 10 o'clock. I'm Lauryn Kazimoto, and of course with my colleague Ssrnyomo. We'll see you then.
It's another episode of the Business Roundup. I'm Dennis Igor, your host for tonight. We're coming to you from the Kampala Serena Hotel, and straight to the highlights. Uganda and Tanzania commit to expedite oil and gas eco project. Commercial diplomacy enhances Uganda's bilateral ties. More than 5,000 youth to benefit from agribusiness empowerment initiative. And from across the borders, Omicron variant causes major disruptions. Don't touch the dial, because it's time for serious business. Uganda and Tanzania have committed to expedite the oil and gas projects for early achievement of poverty eradication and creation of lasting value to society. This was at the just concluded Tanzania-Uganda Oil and Gas Symposium in Tanzania. The presence of both heads of state for Tanzania and Uganda at the Oil and Gas Symposium in Dar es Salaam sought to build confidence and a show of solidarity in the pursuance of oil and gas production.
You see, this campaign against oil is actually good for us, because many companies are fearing to invest in new oil ventures. But for us who are already there in the nightclub, since oil is still in demand, the price is now going up. I hear it has now gone to $83. Could this not be the reason for the price of oil going up? The climate salvation efforts are targeting correctly the use of coal for power generation and the internal combustion engines that should be replaced by electric engines. These are not the only uses of oil.
We have received stronger support from the Ugandan government to implement key issues that underpin the development of the project. I was curiously listening to the presentations of what was discussed yesterday, and I'm happy to note that our experts have agreed to explore more areas of cooperation in the sector. Eco projects will mean less if other areas of mutual cooperation are not exhausted.
Their sentiments are re-echoed by the ministers of minerals and energy of Tanzania and Uganda. Addressing legal and policy matters that govern the industry are cited among critical factors in attracting investment and fostering capital-intensive activities in the midstream and downstream phases.
I want to assure you that in Uganda,